I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Here.
Mr. Bono?
Here.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Here.
Mr. Medio?
Here.
Mr. Rivera?
Here.
Mr. Sabrana?
Present.
Mr. Silva is on the phone. Mr. Silva? Say again.
Here.
Mr. Holmes?
Here.
Mrs. Cottis-Potty?
Present. In compliance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law, commonly referred to as the Sunshine Law, the Vineland Board of Education has caused notice and posting of this meeting to be sent to the following, announcing time and place thereof, agenda, etc. The Daily Journal, SNJ Today, the Press of Atlantic City, Nuestra Comunidad, Vista Bueno, the Clerk for the City of Vineland, and the Administrative Office Public Bulletin Board. Can we all rise for the flag salute? We have public comment on agenda items or any other matter. Please limit yourself to 3 minutes to each person. Mr. Mustarell, do we have any yellow sheets?
We do. Dr. Tom McCann would like to speak about district history.
Good evening, Vineland Board of Education. This evening, I'd like to request or ask the Vineland Board of Education to open up the process to name buildings after individuals in the city, deserving individuals, specifically Vine High School South. As a longtime principal there and a community person, I'm very interested in having this process reopened. Thank you.
Casey Russman. Wants to speak about lunch conflict with performing arts.
Good evening. My name is Casey Russman, and I am a senior at Vineland High School. I also am very proud to say that I am the drum major of the high school marching band. I have been very involved in our arts program since the beginning of my high school career, and I have thoroughly enjoyed and benefited from every second of it. Between our wonderful and encouraging staff to the talented and hardworking students, we are a bright bunch who constantly strive to make ourselves and our school better. However, a wedge has been squeezed between these amazing qualities. Most of our performing arts classes are held during our lunch periods. We do offer our studio arts classes throughout the day, but our extracurricular classes, the ones that require intense amounts of work outside of our 45-minute period together, are offered 4th, 5th, and 6th, usually with select choir being 4th, concert ensemble being 5th, and marching band being 6th. As of the 2023-2024 school year, lunch periods have been optional to students. Now lunches are aimed to be a requirement. This affects over 90% of our program, and I have some of my peers here today who are directly affected by this. I have never had a lunch in my 4 years at the high school. Because our main performing classes are held during lunches, forcing a student to have to miss this class to take lunch ruins our department. B-Wing, where we have these classes, is where I spend most of my day. I do not have to ask, "How was your day?" or be asked, "How was my day?" because I get to see these teachers and students all the time throughout the same day. The dynamic in B-Wing in regards to teaching and learning would be greatly affected by this new policy as well. I would like to note that one of the reasons administration wants to apply this rule is because during lunch periods, hallway traffic and altercations are at high risk. However, I would like to point out that quite often, the children who have dropped their lunch are not the ones roaming the halls. They are not the ones starting physical conflicts, and they are not the ones being called into guidance to discuss concerning grade averages. The students who drop their lunch are willingly giving up the one time they get a break, and they are doing it to learn more. They want to be in class. Why should our art students suffer at the hands of behavioral issues they cannot control? Our choir and band perform at countless community events. We give up our free time for our community, and we are happy to do so, but if I don't have the opportunity to learn and rehearse in class, then I cannot fulfill a performance request. You'd be quite surprised what we can accomplish in 40 minutes, however, it is still not enough. We cannot afford to lose the incredible bond that has been made across B-Wing. I've spoken recently at one of these meetings, and I have also asked to challenge you to shadow a student for a day. You can even shadow me, a senior at Vineland High School who plans to continue music education in the future. I've learned quite many life lessons in the band room, however, I don't remember learning many in the cafeteria. Thank you for your time.
Angelina Medo. Same topic.
Good evening. As you know, I'm Angelina Medo, and I'm currently a junior at VHS, and I'm going to speak on behalf of our performing arts here at VHS. I have been involved in the performing arts at VHS for the last 3 years. I remember my freshman year, I took a lunch and missed the opportunity of being involved in the VHS marching band due to having to take a lunch. I'm here to show you how forcing students to take a lunch can be very damaging to our performing arts program. First off, a lot of our students in the arts drop their lunches to be able to take these classes. You encourage us to be a part of our high school community. As most of us are involved with our community, they are involved in the arts, which is a big one. You forcing us to take our lunches takes time away from these students who are willing to learn and achieve more than what they need to learn. This is stealing many opportunities away from other students. I want you to sit and reflect on this decision that you are about to make. It takes a lot of time to put together what we do for your entertainment. We do a lot for our community, but it doesn't take just a few minutes to put together what we put together. If we are missing just one person or more, it truly affects us in our performances. Making students drop one class can put a strain on the arts as a whole. I'd rather you sit and reflect on the decision you're about to make and how it's not going to affect one, but an entire department as a whole. Thank you, and have a good night.
Same topic.
Good afternoon. I would first like to thank you for letting me speak today. I'm sure all of you know who I am and some of my achievements at Vineland High School. I am not only here speaking as the Vineland High School Marching Band Captain or the JROTC Commander, but as a senior wanting to leave the most positive impact for the students who will follow. Recently, I participated in a spotlight interview with our superintendent, Mr. Aado. We went over a number of things, mainly highlighting my achievements and my time here at our school. Mr. Aado describes me as, quote, a young leader who exemplifies taking advantage of what a school has to offer, both academically and through our activities. We highlighted my time in marching band, JROTC, concert ensemble, and my enrollment in AP courses. That video got over 300 views. In my time here at VHS, I was able to be a part of all of those activities alongside taking my core classes without a lunch. Over the past 3 years, I've had the privilege of working alongside some amazing friends who are given the same opportunity and who have achieved so much more. I will be graduating in June, and my foot is halfway out the door, but that only means that 8th through 11th graders are halfway to their next journey. To pull the opportunity to drop a lunch is to strip a student of the opportunity to perform to their full potential, whether it's band, art, junior ROTC, choir, or one of our many CTE courses. I'm aware that students are able to change their schedule in September, but here's the worry. Classes become full. When classes are full, there is less availability to take the class during a different period. The students at Vineland High School take pride in the things they're able to do, and to not give them the opportunity to be, quote, take advantage of what a school has to offer, both academically and through activities, here at VHS would be very heartbreaking. There's an even bigger picture than we are all thinking, the future. The future impacts that this could have on the arts and CTE. If we tell students that they must have a lunch in their schedule, then they will be less motivated and excited to be a part of our many programs, which cuts the freshman population in these programs significantly. Less participation means less opportunity for the programs to show off their talent at concerts, carnivals, or showcases, which could potentially lead to these programs being terminated in the future. The chain reaction would be quite bad, But like I said, I'm halfway out the door, and I just want to be able to look back at my school, my community, and at my friends and be able to see that the place I left in my past is setting them up for the best future they could possibly have. Thank you.
Kian Myers, same topic.
Good evening. My name is Kian Myers, and I'm here today because VHS is trying to make students take a lunch and not allowing them to drop their lunch for an extra course until September. Forcing students to take a lunch would cause me and many other students to be forced to drop classes like marching band, theater, select choir, and other performing art courses. This will harm our performing arts program significantly, and the amount of students in them will drop. Schedules are not available to students until sometime in August, and by that time in the summer, marching band members have already begun practicing for over 2 months. A lot of time and effort would have been wasted if a student were to practice all summer thinking that they are a marching band, only to find out the class was dropped for a lunch. This doesn't only just affect students in the performing arts, but also seniors and students wanting to graduate early. If a senior doesn't meet all the graduation requirements because they need one more course like a CTE or a language, they could drop their lunch and take an extra course to meet those requirements. If students are forced to take a lunch, those seniors will have to wait until September to change their lunch for that course and have a very slim chance of getting into that class. Students that want to graduate early won't be able to get enough credits for their junior year to graduate early. This also affects incoming freshmen. When 8th graders are selecting their courses for 9th grade, they are supposed to circle a lunch period. If those students were thinking of taking a class like marching band, they might not want to do it anymore because they don't feel like switching their schedule in September. Students should be allowed to drop their lunch for an extra course. I am aware that students can email their guidance counselors after they get their schedule, asking them to switch their lunch period for another course. But this just adds more work for the guidance counselors since many students ask for changes in their schedules during the first weeks of school. Not letting students drop their lunch until September would in turn harm the performing arts and every student at VHS. Thank you for your time.
Jackie McBride. Nicole McBride? I'm sorry.
It's okay. So my name is Nicole McBride. I'm a senior in Vineland High School. So my junior year, I had the option of not having a lunch that year. And I told my mom about it, and she was like, take the lunch, because that's a time for you to unwind, relax your mind from all the work you do from the other periods. And I said, okay, I'll take a lunch. So this year came around, and I had some difficult choices to make. Those choices being either I can have classes that I need to pass to graduate, or I can take a lunch. And I chose, I'm like, I need to graduate. I need to have those classes. So I chose having band, having my science class over lunch. Because band, I didn't need to graduate, but band has helped me show who I am, break out of my shell, if you will. And I wanted to, like, the people in my section, my flute section, I wanted to help them so when they get to senior year, they'll have people behind them that'll look up to them the way they're looking up to me now. So, sorry about that. So what I'm trying to say is band has helped so many people, and for the lunch thing that's happening right now, for them to force them to have a lunch, taking away opportunities that I have had in band to make friends, come out of my shell, and just have a good time in a Vineland High School. Like, okay, so I know they told them in September they can always change their classes. That's not always the case because sometimes the classes are full, so then they're like left with no other option. Or they're taking a class they really don't want to take or need at that moment. So what I'm trying to say is to not force the kids to take something they really don't want to take or if they don't need. Band is something that helped me a lot in my life that I didn't realize I needed until I got to high school and I realized how much I have grown as a person, as a leader, as who I am today, really. So that's all, and thank you for letting me talk to you guys, and have a good night.
Hold on, don't call it yet. I just wanted to clarify for one moment, because a couple times it was mentioned that there would be a vote, that something is being voted on tonight that would impact scheduling for next year. Kian and I had a conversation yesterday. She emailed me, made me aware of this change in the scheduling practice at the high school. I'm looking into it because it's not something that I was aware of before yesterday. There is a reason, a rationale why the high school staff is looking into doing this, but it has not been approved by me yet. So we will be looking at it. There may be a change. I have to get more information, but I just wanted to let you know that I am looking into it, and thank you, Kian, for reaching out and making sure I was aware of this.
Excuse me, President Conespati. As Yogi Berra has said, it's deja vu all over again. So this is what's going to happen. You're either going to let them have this lunch and do what they want, or else at your next board meeting, you're going to have about 75 or 100 parents, and I don't know how many kids come out, and then you're going to let them do what they want. So it's a lot easier to just let them do what they want now. These aren't our problem children. These are some of our best and most accomplished people. It's ridiculous to put reins on them.
Tiffany Harold.
Hi. I'm not used to doing this. I don't care to do this, but when it comes to my daughter and the band, I'm here. My name is Tiffany. I am a very proud band mom, and I am here to speak on behalf of my daughter, who is a 10th grade marching band student at VHS. My daughter chose to not take a lunch this year, and because of that, she was able to take the new ceramics class, in which she loves and enjoys. Ariana, who has been a class officer for the past 2 years and is passing all of her classes, and that is without taking a lunch. Next year, my daughter won't have the opportunity to take ceramics too because of this, because she is forced to take a lunch and she does not even eat the school lunch. Ariana has to take marine science, which is an elective, to continue her dream of becoming a marine biologist in college, as well as marching band. My point is, please let the students have a choice to not take a lunch so they can continue to enjoy the passion and performing arts in marching band, as well as experiencing the great electives VHS has to offer. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I can't quite make out the first name. Alvarado appears to be the last name. I apologize.
Hello, the board. My name is Kristen Alvarado, and I am a senior at VHS. I am speaking to all of you today so that I may express my concern with this push to remove the opportunity for students to not have a lunch period, also used as a lunch study, as one of their 8 periods throughout a school day. I myself chose to not have a lunch period. This was a conversation that I had with my mother, and she saw it okay as long as I was okay with it. And now, because of this decision, I have been given the opportunity to reach the highest level of academic success. I take 5 AP classes, a language, a CTE, in my required gym period this year. 6 out of these 8 classes are taught only once throughout the whole day. What do you want me to do instead then? Not take AP Environmental Science, not take Russian, not take AP Calculus? Let it not even be mentioned that these classes are taught by some of the greatest teachers I have ever gotten the opportunity to study under in my 12 years of going to Vineland Public Schools. By removing this opportunity for your student, for Vineland students, to utilize this opportunity, you're denying their chance to further explore and expand their knowledge and craft. As it is known, lunch is given out during periods 4, 5, 6, and 7, periods that offer pivotal classes only during that time. The CTE program, a program that some of you have gotten a chance to further know during the CTE Carnival that few of you attended, has classes that students would simply not be able to take, as they would instead have to take a lunch period. Various art and music classes, off the top of my head, concert ensemble and band, are taught only once and during said time frame. Various levels of language classes, namely the highest levels such as Italian 4, Russian 4, and and ASL 4 are taught only once and during said time frame. Lastly, countless AP classes, such as 2 of the AP Science classes, AP Calculus, and AP Euro, are taught only once and during said time frame. But rather than take these classes, you suggest that they rather take a lunch period. If your concern is people not utilizing a lunch period, let it be known that whenever I walk past the cafeteria, it is a filled room of people talking, laughing, and eating. And this is during 7th period, the last period that once lunch is given out. A key concern of yours is budgeting, saving money. That is not the way to achieve such a thing. You would rather have people not utilize it in these classes that which you are already putting money into. The classes will continue on. All of them will progress forward, but they will progress at a weaker, more unstable state. And so I am Kristen Alvarado, and I thank you for your time.
Nicole McBride.
Hello, how are you doing this evening? My name is Nicole McBride. I'm here to speak on the decision to make lunch mandatory, which will affect students who are trying to excel beyond what the school requires academically. I do understand where they said that this has not been enacted yet, but this has affected the schedule already for the marching band. We had a meeting last night, and actually one of our parents, they already changed their schedule. That band member, again, I am just to get off topic, but I heard him say that it has not been enacted yet. It has. It has affected the student schedule. They are getting their schedules back already. She reached out to the school, and the school told her that they can check back in August for her to get marching band. But again, I am here to speak about the decision. My daughter, Nicole McBride, is a senior. She has been playing the flute for the VHH marching band for 4 years. I'm actually the president of the Parent Band-Aids fundraising group. We support the students' creature comforts and fundraise to help keep the VHS marching band going. Since my daughter will be graduating, I am now ensuring that the next board is in place, so there's no time to miss for fundraising. But here's the dilemma. Like I said, one of next year's board member's daughter has been made to drop band. Fundraising starts in the summer. Not having a board in place will get in the way of raising the funds that's needed. I'm here as a parent also. Again, my daughter last year, for her junior year, this came up as a decision. Do I let her have a lunch or not? And I told her no. Like, she came up here and said, take the lunch. Even though she's not, teenagers, they're not eating a whole big full lunch. Just take the time for downtime. She has all AP honors classes. Just take the time. So guess what? I had to make that decision again as a senior. Do I allow her to take marching band, or do I make her take a lunch? Again, she's been in marching band for 4 years. It's something she loves to do, and I let her make that decision. We made that decision together as a parent, so it's not like the kids are making this decision. Us as the parents have to sign off on it, and I allowed her to do it. She still maintained our 4.0 GPA. Not having a lunch. Again, I thought she would need that downtime with all her stress from all her classes, but she is still maintaining her grades. So again, I understand they're saying making the lunch mandatory, but allow this decision to be made with the children. It's a personal decision, and the parents are the ones agreeing. Like I said, I was one of those parents like, no, you need a lunch. You can't go all day without eating. But again, just making sure I have breakfast items at home. She eats before she goes. She needs a little snack. She can pack that. Again, she does have after-school activities. She'll pack a lunch, take a snack. Sometimes I'm running things over, especially when we have marching band after school. Many days that season's over, but September and October and November are pretty busy. Where they're after school, and we got games right after, especially on Fridays. So, but again, she still maintains her grades. So this is not the children that are not taking lunch. They're trying to achieve things academically that's not just above and beyond what the school is requiring. And you should allow them to continue to do that. I just want to thank you again for allowing me to speak, and my name is Nicole McBride.
Adriana Harold.
Good evening. My name is Ariana Harold, and I'm very concerned about the lunch and how we're required to take a lunch when some of us students really don't want to. It affects the arts because some students who want to take several arts programs like choir and marching band can't because we're required to take a lunch now. And incoming freshmen who want to take marching band can't because they would have to wait until September and our season would already be started so they can't do marching band. So I would say, and it hurts everyone who wants to take several classes and try new things. And like with the lunch, with us required to take a lunch, it really hurts everyone because they want to take several classes, they want to try new things, they want to learn new things, and it hurts everyone. So I would please try to consider not having us request lunch. Thank you.
Kristen Speakman, 24-25 budget.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Speakman, proud principal of Dr. John H. Winslow School and president of the Vineland Administrators and Supervisors Association. So as we begin the process to collaborate to create the 24-25 budget, I'd just like to acknowledge the significant role of our current 19 assistant principals, which does increase to 20 as of April 8th, with the Petway assistant principal position reinstated, and also express the critical need for our district to maintain the current assistant principal positions in the budget. Since I do have less than 3 minutes, although I am a fast talker, I can only highlight some of the responsibilities of our assistant principals. They serve as instructional leaders of their school community. They hold a strong knowledge of curriculum, instruction, and assessment at each grade level in their building. They foster an educational vision of their school, as well as maintaining a positive school climate that has, at its core, high achievement for all students. Assistant principals promote a culture of continuous improvement and leverage their leadership through conducting walkthroughs, classroom observations, leading professional learning community meetings, focusing on student achievement, and cultivating professional development focused on improving teaching and learning. In addition, our assistant principals play a crucial role in maintaining a safe and secure learning environment for our students. So in New Jersey, the statewide ratio for students to administrators is about 140 students per administrator. In Vineland, that ratio is significantly higher at 186 students per administrator. When we zero in on building-based administrators to students in K-12, that ratio is 200 students per principal and assistant principal. So this data does show that we're not a district that's top-heavy in administration. Our middle schools have greatly benefited from an additional assistant principal. At last week's board meeting, the vacant Petway AP position was rightfully filled through a transfer. VASA advocates for our elementary schools to maintain our current APs throughout the next school year and beyond. And we hope that if an AP position, we hope that our APs are considered for any retirements or vacant positions. It's critical that that position is promptly replaced. Just in a neighboring school district, 3 elementary schools, their enrollment ranges from 425 to 440 students. All of those elementary schools hold the assistant principal position. In Vineland, with the exception of one small elementary school, all of our elementary schools have higher enrollment counts, demonstrating the need for an assistant principal position. Discipline and safety have been recent concerns addressed by the board. Maintaining all of our assistant principal positions is a critical component of a successful learning environment that's safe, supportive, inclusive, and fair. Thank you.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak? Seeing none.
Superintendent recommendations.
Requesting discussion and approval of items A and B. A being the 2024-2025 preliminary school district budget for submission to the state of New Jersey as follows. Total $224,391,924 on our budget, and a local tax levy of $32,070,421. That's A. And then B, approval of the local tax levy in the amount of $32,070,421.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta,
Yes.
Mr. Bono,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi.
Yes.
Mr. Medio.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana.
Yes.
Mr. Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes.
Yes.
Mrs. Codispoti.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Requested discussion and approval of items 6 and 7. Item 6, approval of the maximum travel amount, as noted on our agenda, $43,050. And number 7 is approval of the New Jersey Department of Education Office of Early Childhood 2024-2025 PEA State Aid Notice and Budget.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call?
Who was the first motion?
Oh, no.
Thank you. Ms. Acosta.
Yes.
Mr. Bono.
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi.
Yes.
Mr. Medio.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana.
Yes.
Mr. Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Holmes.
Yes.
Mrs. Codispoti.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Before I ask for adjournment, on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank everybody who came out to speak tonight. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.